out of the park. So so I'm hearing that sign go, well, this kind of goes with my talk. So anyway, what's really wonderful is that today you get three for the price of one. Yeah, you get all three of us. And so I thought I was going to start because I thought, well, I'm going to relate a lot to a large portion of our congregation who are in they've seen a lot of the world and a lot of what's gone on. I'll put it that way. But our talk today, what's stopping you? And I'm doing part one. Okay, what's stopping you? So I kind of struggled with this talk a little bit, and because I looked at my life and I thought, I was the type of person that if I wanted to do something and somebody said, oh, you can't do that, I was like, in my head, I wouldn't argue with them. I just, in my head, watch me. Watch me. I'll tell you a little something that maybe Dr. Joe wouldn't want you to know. But when I candidated for the job of assistant minister, when Dr. Maxine came, they put out the thing to the organization and people would put in their applications. And after that, I got it, and the board chose me, which I was very grateful for. And Dr. Joe called me in and to tell me the good news, and he was really happy. And he said, but I just want you to know, you'll never be the spiritual leader of this church. And I love Dr. Joe, but in my head, I said, don't tell me what I can and cannot do. But I had no desire, as you know, and we had to go through a couple ministers before I said, okay, I'll go in, coach. And, but life is interesting. And, those of us that are getting up there in our years, we look and we think, well, the sidewalk is getting shorter. But you know what? We can kick that. And we don't have to follow that damn sidewalk. We can make our own path, right? Right? Don't say, oh, you're too old. Oh, you know what? Never mind. So courage doesn't mean you don't get afraid. Courage means you don't let fear stop you, right? Yes, we all have fear. We think, oh, God, should I do this? Should I do that? But don't let it stop you. Don't let it stop you. There are 5 things in life you cannot recover. A stone after it's thrown, a word after it's said, that's why you zip it, on occasion after it's missed, the time after it's gone, a person after they die. Life is short. Break the rules. Forgive quickly, kiss slowly, love truly, laugh uncontrollably, and never regret anything that made you smile. Enjoy life. Don't let anything stop you. So I had my slides all done yesterday, and then my business partner, Donna Evans, she sent me this through Facebook, and I thought, oh, this is so beautiful that I wanted to share it with you. We convince ourselves that life will be better after we're married, have a baby, then another. Then we're frustrated that the kids aren't old enough, and we'll be more content when they are. After that, we're frustrated that we have teenagers to deal with. We will certainly be happy when they are out of that stage. We tell ourselves that our life will be complete when our partner gets his or her act together, when we get a nicer car, are able to go on a nice holiday, when we retire. The truth is, there's no better time to be happy than right now. Okay, I lost my place. But if not now, when? Your life will always be filled with challenges. It's best to admit this to yourself and decide, be happy anyway. A quote comes from Alfred D. Sousa. He said, "For a long time it had seemed to me that life was about to begin, real life. But there was always some obstacle in the way, something to be gotten through first." Have we ever experienced that? Some unfinished business, time still to be served, or a debt to be paid. Then life would begin. At last it dawned on me that these obstacles were my life. This perspective has helped me to see that there's no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. So treasure every moment that you have, and treasure it more because you shared it with someone special enough to spend your time. And remember, what time waits for no one. So stop waiting until you lose 10 pounds, until you gain 10 pounds. Who's lucky you. Until you have kids, until your kids leave the house, until you start work, until you retire, until you get married, until you get divorced, until you get a new car or home, or until your car or home is paid off, until spring, until summer, until winter, until your song comes on, until you've had a drink. There's no better time than right now to be happy, okay? Happiness is a journey, not a destination. Work like you don't need money, love like you've never been hurt, and dance like no one's watching. I thought that was beautiful. So what's stopping you? That is what life is all about. Nothing should stop you. Nothing should stop you from being happy. Yes, we have challenges in our life. You know, we get some bad news. We take it, we do what we need to do, but we also look at all our blessings. Happiness is not about getting all you want. It's about enjoying all you have. At the end of the day, all that really matters is that your loved ones are well, you've done your best, and that you're thankful for all you have. So, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Don't let anything stop you from being happy. And now I will turn it over to our wonderful Reverend Will.
With that, you are quite welcome. That was wonderful. Okie dokie. So, what's stopping you? That's our big question for today, and you're going to get 3 different versions of the same question. And that's the beautiful thing about this, is the diversity that we have here with the 3 of us always talking. Are you hiding? Do you hide yourself from the world? I know that I have, and I'm sure that some of these sentences resonate with you. Have you hidden yourself from the world? From your brothers, from your sisters, from your parents? Why? What fear do you have inside of you? Or what condition were you taught to where you thought to protect yourself, you had to hide yourself from the world? I'm not talking about being afraid. I'm talking about your ideas. Not afraid of being physically hurt, but the ideas, the aha moments, those thoughts that we have in ourselves that we never allowed to be verbalized because the fear of being judged. Your hopes, your dreams. Things of that nature, things that are personal. Not just things about what's happening in the world today, but the inspiration that comes from each and every one of you, that deep down inside, the thing that excites you, but yet you're too afraid to let it out, to let it be shown. Maybe it's too fragile. Acorns. Acorns can be dormant for decades. Those little small shells, and I remember that when I lived in Alabama and in the southeast, stepping on those things with bare feet would freaking kill. If anybody's ever stepped on an acorn, you know what I'm talking about. Those things are not fun. And we used to throw them at each other, but we had fun with those things. But I never really realized that they were seeds of the oak tree. They were just acorns. I didn't know what they were. But that's a great analogy of those ideas, those dreams, those ideas that are deep inside of you. You've protected them like that acorn shell. Always dormant, always hidden, never showing the potential of what it could be. How long have you been dormant? We just sang happy birthday for someone 80 years old today. You could be celebrating your 90th tomorrow. Are you still hiding? I'm 50-something. That's because I can't remember how old I am. But writing this talk, I myself, I'm hiding things. They may be small or insignificant, but when I'm consciously writing this talk, they came up. And I realized that I'm still an acorn. When am I going to grow? Acorns need water to grow. They need certain conditions to be able to come up and to crack that shell, to show themselves, to grow. I mean, I love this. It is such a great analogy for each and every one of us. Does this resonate with you? Can you see this? That idea, that passion you have inside of you that you've hidden from the world is that acorn shell. We do not. We don't need water to break open. The acorn does because, let's see if I'm right. Yes, I'm right on my slides. Water represents secondary causation. Now here's where we're going to get into the crux of this philosophy. Secondary causation is when you're living your life from the relative world, the world that we all see, driving down the road, going to work, going to lunch, going back home to the one that we love, whether it be on 4 legs or 2. The acorn needs something from that relative world to start. We, however, only need the realization of Spirit's love, which is first cause. That first love, that divine inspiration, that divine intelligence that's always been inside there. Part of what that acorn seed is. From there, we can spontaneously start to grow. When you realize who and what you are, the divine perfection that each and every one of you are, you no longer need to hide those ideas, those inspirations, those aha moments that you have. Share them with the world. You never know what ideas or what sparks that you may instill in others. That's what's beautiful about this philosophy, is to know that you have that type of power. Yes, it may not be the infinite first cause, but your power comes from first cause, and so that you are the action of Spirit, which is love, which is perfection, which is beauty. In like manner also, since it is free to produce what it will, capital I, meaning Spirit, the Spirit cannot desire the presence of repugnant forms. That is a cool word, repugnant. That's a funny word. It reminds me of the Muppet Show for some reason. I don't know why. And also, one of the inherent laws must be beauty. Thomas Troward. That is so beautiful. I got these two ladies cracking up. I love it. You never know what's going to come out of these lips. I'm telling you what, it's so much fun to be up here. I'm telling you what, this is such great stuff. Oh my gosh. All right. No one really notices the acorns thrown around the ground. People walk by and go about their own lives. It's only when the oak has grown and it creates shade, love for those around, do people stop and sit with the oak tree. Allow that passion, allow that love that is already within you, those ideas to come out and to grow. Become that oak tree. Become that shade of love for others so that then you can be the inspiration for their awakening. Enjoy the ride. Who's Will Yum Yum? Oh, well, I don't know. I'm not allowed to say. Maybe Dr. Dale can say who Will Yum Yum is. I'm done. Enjoy the ride.
I'll tell you, it's never easy being the closer of this circle here. Never easy. So, I looked at our graphic. Actually, I created it. This graphic through AI, which I'll tell you, one great thing about AI is you can create magnificent graphics. That's my love of AI right now. And as I was looking at this, I thought, my life, up until I came into this teaching, a lot of my life looked like this. I was able to have this vision of an extraordinary life, but this big, fat stop sign stood in the way. And as I was thinking about what is that stop sign anyways, I realized this is it. This is it. All of these funky beliefs that I have. I'm not good enough. I'm too scared. This is impossible. It's too difficult. Blah, blah, blah. On and on and on. And when I came into Science of Mind, I realized I can't have a scroll like this living in my head anymore because it's keeping me from a magnificent life. And I think that I'm not alone in this. I think a lot of us have a scroll inside of our heads that carries that stop sign that doesn't allow us to be and live a life that we want to live. And, this whole stopping of life, and I loved what both of you said because it just, I felt like all the threads are coming together here. And what I was thinking is sometimes people think when we say what's stopping you, they think we're meaning something like a new career or a ton of money or the new house or the relationship or this or that, these huge things. And really, to me, it's really about what's stopping you from being you. What is stopping you from allowing that authentic life force that you are from being expressed in this world? That's what it really is all about. The other stuff is just a manifestation of that. But the core of it, the acorn, is all about the essence of you. So if an idea comes into your awareness that you know will bring you greater joy into your life, it's yours to do. I totally believe this. So many people have these great ideas, as Reverend William was saying. We have these great ideas. Sometimes they're really big. Sometimes it's just a, hey, I should move here or whatever. If that comes into your awareness, it's for you. So many of us turn away from it and we say, no, I can't. Like the scroll, it says, no, that's too big, no, all those silly ideas. But the choice is for you to bring it to life. And that's where we let go of that stop sign. We stop that, and we allow ourselves to bring that divine idea, whatever it is that brings joy to your heart, bring it into the world, bring it into your life, because it is yours to do. It would not be there if there wasn't something inside of you that said, this is what my heart wants to do and be in this world. So we have to take the first step and be open to changing our beliefs because, we say it to you all the time. It's an inside job. I can't change your beliefs. Dr. Laura can't. Reverend William can't. We can teach you how to do it. We can bring you awareness and insight, but it's up to you to take that first step and make it happen. And here's the good news. Here's the good news. We all have it inside of us. We all have what it takes to change our consciousness. And there's so much science right now that's out there that's talking about the plasticity of our minds, that even though we come to believe all these things about ourselves, you can change them because the mind is changeable. We just have to take the first step, because you know what? We don't like changing. We don't want to have to think differently. We really don't. Even though we know it'll bring a better life for us, there is a resistance because we have to be different. And a part of us likes to keep it all the same because we feel uncomfortable when we start changing things up. But I will tell you, I have changed things up in my life countless times, and thank God I got through the discomfort, because I would not be who I am today, which is a freer individual to be my authentic, and it just gets better. So this is how we do it. This is how to break down that resistance. 2 things: use your imagination affirmatively, because we can use it not affirmatively. Use your imagination affirmatively, and daily connect with spirit. Our imaginations, I'm going to this next slide because I love this quote by Neville Goddard. The most creative thing in you is your power to imagine things into existence. Our imaginations are so powerful. I remember when I was a kid, I thought the imagination was a thing that just kids do. That's what I thought, because that's what I was taught. When I came into Science of Mind, I was taught that your imagination is the creative spark that creates a whole new life. It's that place inside of ourselves where infinite possibility and potential exists for us to call in to being through our openness, through our receptivity, through our trust, through our faith that yes, we can have a better life. It all starts in the imagination. So it's time to say yes to it. It's time to stop ignoring it. I mean, look at all the amazing inventions that have happened in this world because somebody said, that's a far out idea, flying in an airplane. Who's going to believe we can do that? And now look what happened. If they hadn't paid attention to that, given energy to it, and let it take them to where it took, we would not be able to fly in an airplane. You all have that same potential inside of you. Pay attention and use your imagination because it'll take you everywhere. Daily recognize and acknowledge the infinite presence of spirit. We got to get our mojo going here. We have to acknowledge that there is an energy inside of ourselves that is boundless, that is infinite, that is creative, that is movement of energy, that is everywhere present. We've got to acknowledge it. We teach you stuff here on Sunday, and I know a lot of you love our Sunday service. You love what we're saying. You feel good when you leave here. But you got to do something that taps that spark inside of you all week long. And you don't have to spend hours. Spend 2 minutes. Spend 1 minute. I don't care how long. Recognize that there is a power and a presence of life that exists everywhere, that is in you, as you, expressing by means of you all the time. You can say that, 10 seconds I said that? Say it every day. When you say that and acknowledge that presence of spirit or love, you call it what you want to call it. It doesn't have to be God. It can be love. It can be love. That's simple. But when you are activating that presence and that acknowledgement, yes, there is a power, and it is amazing, and it's who I am, and it's creative. When you just recognize it every day, it's going to expand. It's going to get your energy flowing. It's going to lift you up to a higher place. And it will allow you to stop stopping yourself from creating a better life for yourself. It's interesting, Reverend William and I and Dr. Laura, we don't connect on what our talks is going to be about when we do this, believe it or not. We just go into our privacy, create what we create, and come together. And I had this tree, and I told Reverend William, I go, I have a tree too today, just one. So to me, it's less about doing, and it's more about being. Being. And doing's great. Yeah, we got to be active. We got to create. We got to bring all this physical stuff into form. But you know what? It's all about being. When you're vibrating at the level of love and joy for life, the zest for life, the doing comes naturally. For me, I used to get so overwhelmed with thinking I needed to do things to make my life happen. And boy, that took me down just the wrong path. because it just got me all frustrated because I kept relying on this to bring my life into a better place. Got me nowhere. But when I learned, oh no, it's about being. It's about recognizing that power of spirit, the infinite possibility, the energy of life. That's all I needed to be that. And then the doing comes naturally because I'm in tune with something that is so just a part of who I am, that doing is fun. It's not a chore. It's not something my mind needs to figure out because my heart's leading me. So Ernest Holmes says, knowing that life gives according to my faith, I lift my mind, I elevate my faith, I listen deeply to the song of my being. And this is where it all comes down to, everybody. The song of your being. We got to stop that song of our being from being muted. We have to let the song of our being out to sing, to play, to express itself, to expand our individual lives and our collective. Because, the more of us that are doing this individually, that we are giving others permission to do it themselves. And then more and more people are finding their soul. They're finding the song of their being. And they're saying, I want to sing it out loud, because together we create a beautiful, beautiful orchestra, a choir, a holy choir of beings singing their own song of love, of passion, of peace, of possibility, of light. That creates this greater reality. So it's finding that faith in life that is the essence. And so I say, yes, you can. I said, no, I can't for so long. And if, I can't, those are just like the worst words you can say to yourself. I can't. It's like, just surrender, throw it away. But you know what? We all can. We all have it inside of ourselves. I can't, I know I'm not able to be, and I choose not to, be a basketball player. It doesn't work for me to be a basketball player. I don't know. Is it obvious? But there's a whole lot I can do because it's in me to do what I'm doing here. I found my core. I found my song. So I want to tell you that, yes, you can increase your faith. Yes, you can have more and more better days. Yes, you can manifest your dreams. There's a lot of people here in this sanctuary who are going through grief, who have lost people. And I know a lot of people are feeling paralyzed. They feel that they can't go on without whoever they lost, or they can't imagine a new life. And I understand that. When we love big, it's hard to imagine life without that love. But when we realize that we're still here, and there's still a heart beating, there's still a passion, there's still a love of life to be lived here and now. And so that's what I say to you is, yes, you can get to that place of jumping back into life, of feeling alive again, of finding something new that's meaningful for you to continue living, because you know what? You are loved and you are appreciated. So please step back into life. I want to finish with a quote by Charles Fillmore, who was the founder of Unity. He says, I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and spring forth with a mighty faith to do the things that ought to be done by me. And to me, this says it all. It's all about passion and excitement for life. It is a privilege to be here on planet Earth. I know sometimes it doesn't feel that way, but honestly, when we realize that everything is unfolding in divine right action and order, that there is something bigger behind the scenes that is harmonious and loving, if we would just take a moment and get out of the circumstances and the drama of it all and go higher and say, wait a minute, I can recognize that divine right action and order. That allows the heart to lighten and for us to find the excitement of being here and being who we are, because there's something for all of us to do here. You know what it is. It's on your heart. It may just be to be a more loving person. It may be to help people who are in need. It may be just to be the fun and exciting person you are, like Reverend William. Anyways, in conclusion, being the caboose of this train, I want you to think about this week what's stopping you. If you have a scroll like I used to have, and sometimes I start to open it up again and I go, but I don't need that today. See if you got a scroll, and I want you to burn that thing up because you are a divine expression of spirit. And that channel needs to be opened wide for you to express your truth, your heart, your soul, because we need you. Have a great day. Thank you.